crafters and friends, it's Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's Hump Day Sketches. As you know, it's Wednesday, and it's really important that I get your creative juices going. So I have another absolutely fabulous freshly made sketches from freshlymadesketches.blogspot.com, and I just call it the three-way layout. And this one was a little bit of a stretch for me, as many of them are, but I'm hoping that you like what I created today and that you will go ahead and give it a try. So today we are working with our Sweetest, Cherries, and the Cherry Builder. So that's what my three-way layout is going to look like. As I bring out the first part, this is my first card. All right, I don't know if you can see it very well. These I embossed, so we have some clear embossing going on. This ends up being real red with some garden green, and back here for the stems is some early espresso. This down below is also embossed. So let me show you how I created this. So the number one thing you need to understand about the cherry builder, building block, the cherry builder, is that when you punch it, you can punch all four things out at the same time. And so I just brought in my scrap paper just to kind of show you exactly how you will do this. So all I did was lay this down, and then for the embossed part, I brought in my, are you serious? Okay, I'll come back to that. But with the embossed part for the cherries, I brought in a Versamark and then my real red. And on this, what you can do is that you always start with your Versamark. So I Versamark my cherry, and then I go ahead and I ink up my cherry, and then I just find where the cherry goes and I place it in the middle of that. So that's how I get myself started. And the other thing that I want to let you know, that you can stay with this cherry, and all you have to do is put some of the tape, the clear packing tape, around this, and then punch it, and it'll give you a really shiny cherry too. So I'm going to bring in my garden green, just showing you how to set up the cherry builder. And I have two ways that I can stamp these leaves. And all I'm trying to do is figure out how I get it in the middle. That one wasn't much of a success, but we're going to go with it anyway. And then the other one up top. How? Because I turn this around the other way. Let's see if I can. Yeah, we'll just fake that one. Okay, my bad. You need to know which direction that you need to have these facing in the first place. Thank goodness I've already had mine cut out. And then our last one ends up being the stem. And the stem will be with our early espresso. And this one, if you miss it the first time, you can re-stamp it a second time. All right. And this is going to come out just a little bit on the weird side because I did not turn my cherry punch the correct way. Please make sure that you do that. But before we do anything else, I want to just put a piece of packing paper on the cherry itself so you can see exactly how you can come up with a good sparkling cherry if you do not have any Versamark, or you just want to do it a simple way. And this is really a simple way. So from here, all I'm going to do is take my cherry punch. I'm going to line everything up, and they're not going to line up the best, but hey, we're just going to do what we can to cut these out, punch these out. From here, you can already start to see the shine on the cherry, and that's exactly what you want. Okay, and I just punch, and there I have everything I need to start to build my cherries. I don't know if you can see the difference between the two. They look a little bit about the same. This one has just a little more of a shine than this does, but using the packing paper is really a great thing to do. So in order to get ourselves started, remember all the dimensions are below, and I am using red, which I absolutely love. I love red, black, and white. Oh boy, what a beautiful color combination. So from here, I'm just going to bring in my black. This one ends up being 4¼ by 11. And now I am bringing in my black, which is 4 by 5¼ and that's just bringing in my silicone pad. It just helps me get my tape started. And this is just the Stampin' seal. Put this on. And I did not want to bore you guys today because it took a little bit longer to get all these on with embossing. So I already did all the embossing, everything that we needed to get done. I am going to get done. We will come back and stamp the inside of the cardstock. So here are all mine. You can see I made boo-boos, so I used cardstock that we could go ahead and cover up. So I just did a little layout so I could make sure that the stems would be on this and that everything would work out. So my stems are up above. As I just kind of start to put it together, I like to do a layout before I go because I want to make sure that everything fits. All right, and I think I can get my leaves in on this. So I am going to bring back in my silicone pad. And because these are photo polymer stamps, and I should have put that on my paper piercer, but I will do that again next time. So when I stamp the inside, you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, all I'm going to do is add just a little bit of glue to this. And then because I have the glue out, all I'm going to do is add my glue to my cherry. And the other I already ate. Because I am dealing with glue, you can already see that I have glue already on me. Some of the fun things that you get to do when you are crafting, which I just love. This is like my favorite time. A Wednesday, I take the weekend to create, and then my Wednesday I get to share with you. Absolutely love that. As you can see, that everything is just going together pretty easily. The other thing, if you wanted to, is that if you did not want to cut out your stems, you could always just add the stems on top of the cherries. And then you can, then after that, oops, I'm going to go ahead, made a mistake on that one. I'm going to go ahead and add my dimensionals to this one. So I already kind of put some glue down, so I'm just going to raise this one up just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension itself. And yes, I have glue on it. It'll still rise, get a little bit sticky. And I added a few more dimensions on than I would have with my 3, but I want to make sure that the glue does not stick to the card, so there is part of it is popped up. So now from here, all I'm going to do is get 3 of my leaves, and I'm just going to glue them down. And then I'm going to get the other 3. Oops. And get a dimensional on them. Let me make sure that this is... So I'm just going to put a dimensional on these 3. And now, because my hands are so sticky, all I'm going to do is bring in the dimensional with tweezers. And I love working with tweezers. I started that when I decided that I really wanted to have nails. So from here, we're going to move this off the edge. And then we're going to stick this on the cherry stem. Each one of them will have a leaf that is adhered to the card itself, and then a leaf that will be, sorry for my arm, a leaf that will be dimensional. So then there's going to be a little lift in the leaf. And this, I think, sweet can mean so many things. And I think it's up to you just to go ahead and what do you have that's sweet in your life? And if you have nothing, make sure that you take time to think about what are the good, sweet things. All right, so now what I am going to do is bring in my 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of my card. And this is what I did for the inside. Just kind of added just a little bit again so you can see. And the first thing that I'm always going to do is do the cherries first. So just bring my cherry little stamp in. I'm going to have them go in different directions this time. Nice and easy. Now, you know, my cherry got a little bit unsticky on the back. And so what I did was that I created a little sticky thing. Stampin' Up! Has this little white things that stick. And so when I do my sticky stuff, then you can see it in the back of my cherry. I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's just the half a piece of this. And when I put it on my stamp, then it stays. So these are like adhesive backs for any type of stamps that you have, and they just kind of glue right to them. They're fabulous to have. All right, next I'm going to do my stem. Get all this out of the way. And on my stem, I'm just bringing in my early espresso. And all I'm doing is stamping my stems. Whoops, that last little part was my nail. All right, and from here we just have our leaves to stamp. Alrighty. Let's see. Now I can't get it out there. There we go. So that is the inside of our card. All we have to do is put this on the inside of the card and then finish up with embellishments. And I don't know if you know me very well, but I love embellishments. And remember that you don't ever want to have a naked envelope. So I just stamped off on everything and stamped my envelope. Last thing will just be our rhinestone basic jewels. And I am just going to put one over here by the sweet. Put another one up at the top. And again, what we're doing is that we're looking for some type of triangles. Oh, let's put it right about here. So this is my sweet card. Love it. Love it. One card down, one more card to go. Let me get all this out of the way. I just hope that you guys are having a good day today. I hope that you enjoy. Oh my God, Seema. Hi, Seema. Good to see you, baby. Oh, thank you for the comments about my nails. I love my nails too. Your graduation or your school picture was so darn cute. Oh my God. It was great seeing you as a young kid. Awesome. So cute. So cute. All right. So I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Only have had 1 cup. Started just a little bit late today because I had an appointment. Got to have at least 2 cups of coffee a day. That's what I think. So my third card had to bring out the old purple. Oh my goodness. I love my purple. So this is what this card looks like. A little bit different than this, but again, not everybody has the same taste that I have, and I like to create for lots of different people. So this is our next card, and it is created with ink that is Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Granny Apple Green. I also used the Stylish Shapes, and I think I decided that it was, yeah, it was the third. Yes, it's the third from the biggest. So again, I count from the out. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's the third one. And I just propped them all up on dimensionals. I just thought that was going to be something different, something fun. And again, count me among all the people who are here for you. So that's what I did, doing the exact same thing on the inside, okay, that I did with the cherries. So we're going to get ourselves started. And for the most part, I have everything done for you. I decided that this time I'm going to go with Gorgeous Grape instead of Highland Heather. Give my card a good crease. Put that to the side. I'm bringing in one of my cards right now, getting out all my flowers and my leaves. So we have them. On the circles, I am also just using the foam adhesive sheets. I'm just cutting my own. I'm just finding it a little bit easier to do so. And then again, my envelope is already stamped. So here we are with the very beginning. We are using this Darling Details. What a great stamp set this is. I love Just a Note. Cute little flowers to go with that. On this, you can see all the photopolymer stamps. We are just going to use this beautiful word stamp set. Love this. And then I also used these stamp set or these dies to cut the flowers and the leaves. Whenever you're dealing with photopolymer stamps, you want to make sure that you put them down first, let them stretch so they get a good stretch in. I don't know if you can see all of this. And then put your stamp over top of it. And we're going to bring in our Gorgeous Grape. And I like to stamp first because if I make a mistake, then I have a second side of my card to stamp it on. So I just turn it over. And again, on the flowers itself, the bold I did in Highland Heather, and the outline I did with Gorgeous Grape. Putting that to the side, bringing in my detailed circles. All I'm doing is placing these down on top of the circles, so I kind of have a little idea of how I want to place these on. And I let some of the leaves float. So while they are floating, it means that I'm not adhering them. Okay, so it gives them just kind of like a nice little, opening. So then when you hit something like this, it kind of gives it a little bit of movement. All right, so all I'm going to do is take this off. I am using my glue. Just putting it on the top. Let me bring in my silicone pad because it seems like I have issues with glue all over the place. Just like that. So here we go. We're going to put this down in the corner. And then we are going to put our flower right on top. So that's what that's going to look like. Nice and easy and simple. And we're going to do the exact same thing to the next two flowers and leaves. And again, all I'm doing is putting glue right on top, guessing where it's supposed to be at the bottom. And yeah, some people don't like this white. I don't mind it. If it bothers you, go ahead and just cut it off. Take your pair of scissors and then you can do some fussy cuts. So we have that. We're going to stick this one right down below. Love these flowers. Love this color combination. It's just one of my all-time favorites. All right, we got that glued. Putting this down below. And this one up above. So it's been pretty hot here. I'm glad that it hasn't been smoky yet. So that's been huge. So we're going to turn these over and just put these foam adhesive pads just on the back. And all I am doing is taking the bigger size, just sticking it right in the middle. It's better than using 5 or 6 different dimensionals. So I really enjoy doing that and using these. And I feel like they're pretty cost efficient too. So I'm going to just bring back in my seal. Put this on my card base. Bring in my flowers and just start lining them up. And I may have needed to put that down just a little bit. Let me see if I can move this. Yep, surgery. Gotta do my surgery. I don't know which way it's coming off. Okay. It's coming off the foam adhesive sheet. Alright, so all I'm going to do is move that up just a little bit higher. There we go. Move this down. I want to make sure that I get the leaf coming on the outside. There we go. And then the last one over here on the other side. So we have our front done. Love this card. Love this card. So we're going to work on the inside, and we are bringing back in our piercing pad. Again, whenever you're dealing with photo Palmer stamps, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of give to them. So by putting a piercing pad underneath them, you get the give. All right, so we are first going to stamp in our Highland Heather. And I'm hoping this is... I left all my blocks over. I didn't want to run and grab them. So we're going to do the best we can here. And I should have thought about stamping off. Let me stamp off on this one so you can see the difference. It's going to be a little bit lighter up here in the corner. I think I like that. We will just turn that over. So there you go. That's how easy that is. And then we're going to, and that's why I like both sides of the paper. If you make a mistake, oops, you just turn it over. And now we're using our darker, our gorgeous grape on the outlines. And we are just going to line them up. And you can, it's really nice because you can also see through these stamps to find out where you are and where you are stamping to. All right, so again, as easy as it can be. And the last we're going to do is just a couple of leaves. And I think I want to know, no, I just did the older one. Okay, so we are just going to do the bolder. And for the most part, I would use a bigger block on these. Let's bring this one in. So then you have just some room that you can write in. It's just nice and easy. And we're just going to put this down and we're almost done. Oh my goodness. We're going to do it anyway. Sometimes when you're dealing with homemade stamps, and I did some stamping on that. Oh, people know that they're handmade. When you have boo-boos all over them, you just know that they're handmade. All right, sometimes it just kind of happens. Yikes! So now we are using some iridescent rhinestone jewels, and I'm just going to pull this out. I'm using the big ones, and I am sticking them right in the middle of the flowers. And most of the time you use your take a pick tool on this. Sometimes they're a little bit easier to get off and to move on to your card instead of using the tweezers. Tweezers, sometimes they can fly all over the place. So now the last thing we're going to do is use our Wink of Stella, and we are going to give our flower just a little bit of a shine. Golly, I hope you guys like the cards. They are very different, very summery. Pretty soon it will be cherry season in Washington, so you can already tell they're already coming out. So we have had cherries on our tree. There were the cherry pie. A friend of mine made a cherry pie, and it was just absolutely fabulous. And now we got the apples that are coming. Really excited about that. First time the trees are packed with apples. So that's what our cards look like this time. They are, here's my little non-naked envelope for those that would like to take a picture. And then we also have our cherry card with the envelope. There you go. As you are just taking a look, I am just putting things away, so that's the noise you're going to hear in the background. And if you just want to take a look at both of the cards we created today, here you go. So you guys, we have next week. I'm getting ready for next week's Hump Day sketch. So I just thank you for being with me. Seema, it's great. Thank you so much. I love you, and thank you for giving me a great big shout out. Really appreciate that. So this is Kevon. from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Today is also a big day in Stampin' Up! Because they're having a 24-hour sale, 15% off of all stamp sets. I put an order in 2 days ago. Wish I would have looked at the website before I did so. Bummer. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you next week with another sketch. And please contact me if you need any help. Contact me if I can do anything for you, especially if you don't have a demonstrator. I am available. And please pass this on. Put your cards on my Facebook, like my YouTube, go and check out my blog. I have a new card on my blog right now. And if you want to be on my mailing list, leave me a little note and I will get you on there just as soon as possible. So thanks, you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.